Good evening. We are going to be making falafels for dinner tonight. I'm going to show you how to do it. Super, super easy. Very simple ingredients. Just nice, cheap stuff that you can throw together and literally pop in the oven, not have to worry about them, and then just eat and enjoy. So, get to it. Okay, so the very first thing that I'm going to do is take a can of chickpeas. This is maybe like a 57-cent can of chickpeas from Walmart. I'm going to drain and rinse these, and then I'm going to pat them dry with just a normal kitchen towel. Okay, so now I'm gonna take some green onions. I'm going to chop them up. I'm just chopping it on this cheap plastic plate because my cutting board somehow magically disappeared. So I'm gonna show you that. This was like 99 cents, I think, at Aldi. Yeah, like 99 cents for a bag of green onions. So super cheap, and they add a lot of flavor. So I'm gonna take about 5 of these, 5 stalks. Actually, we'll do more like, do like 4. Chop off the ends. I never include these. I don't know if anyone else does, but I just don't like to. Going to weigh them so I can make sure I have the nutritional information. So they're all chopped up. I didn't even, I just rough chop. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's just so that they're small and blend up really easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this kitchen scale just so I know how much of what I'm using, which I'm pretty sure most of this is just spices anyway, so it's not really going to matter. So, and the first thing I did was I preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna take my blender, take these chickpeas, and really all you have to do is like roll them around. I'm like dropping chickpeas everywhere, whatever. And I like to get these skin things off because the texture is kind of weird whenever, oh my gosh, so many are falling. The texture is kind of weird when you blend it into things. So, I mean, I'm not taking the time to pick out all of them, but if there's any that's like scraggling, just go ahead and get them out. So I'm gonna dump these into my blender. I'm gonna blend these up first, which I don't have to weigh these because I know how much it weighs. I'm gonna blend that up on high. Now I'm going to take the green onions, throw them in there. And I'm going to take about 2 cups of raw spinach. I'm gonna go ahead and blend these ingredients together before I throw in the spices so everything can get blended up together and it can all just be a little bit more evenly distributed. Now, traditional falafels don't call for spinach, but I want to add in just some extra nutrients to these because ever since I was pregnant with my son, I don't like the taste of spinach, and I used to like it, but now it tastes like soapy to me, kind of like how some people think cilantro tastes soapy. So I prefer, if I'm wanting spinach, like the nutrients from spinach, I prefer to blend it into stuff, so I don't gotta take the stuff while I'm putting it in here. Okay, now that we've got that all blended up, we're gonna start throwing in some spices. So I'm gonna start with coriander. This is one of the more traditional flavors when it comes to falafel, so you're not gonna wanna skip this. I got this at Walmart for like maybe $2 and some change. I wanna say maybe $3. So I'm gonna put in a teaspoon of that. Teaspoon of cumin. This is another one of the more traditional flavors when it comes to falafel, so you're not gonna wanna skip out on this. I'm gonna do about half a teaspoon of parsley. And then a teaspoon of salt. All right, now I'm going to do half a teaspoon of baking powder. Now the thing about doing this in a blender rather than a food processor is that you are going to have to stop and scrape down the sides a couple of times. Which, I mean, you have to do that with a food processor anyway, but you do just have to do it more often with the blender. I have a food processor, it's just not very big, so it creates more mess. It's a lot easier for me to do it in this, actually. I'd rather just kind of take the time to go in and scrape the sides a couple of times. It also will help if you just kind of take the mixture out, throw it in a bowl so it can kind of redistribute, and then throw it back in here. That kind of helps it get to a better place to where it can blend a lot easier. So this is gonna be about the consistency. It's gonna be mushy, like that. And then you're just gonna roll them into balls. You can use an ice cream scooper for this, but I'm just gonna use my hands. And I sprayed this with nonstick spray. Okay, so this made about 12 balls. So now I'm going to put these in the oven at 350 for, we'll check them at 20 minutes and see how they are. So this is how they turned out. I did cook them for 20 minutes and I ended up flipping them at the end and cooking them for another 5 minutes just so they could brown a little bit on the other side. But they turned out to be, I did the math, and it's like 40 something calories of falafel with 2 grams of protein in it, which is not bad at all. I'm making some couscous to go with it. We're gonna eat it with these Joseph's pita bread. These are so delicious. They are only 60 calories for one pita, and there's 6 grams of protein in one of them. We get these at Walmart. They're on the bread aisle, but they're at the very end of the bread aisle, like away from where all of the wraps and stuff are. We also love Joseph's Lavish Wraps. They're really high in protein. They're super delicious. They're really big for how many calories are in them. They're very filling. So the couscous is done. I just wanted it to kind of fit with the Mediterranean style dinner we're doing. And then I found this at Walmart. It's a Greek yogurt dip. It's cucumber and dill. Opadipity. I've never bought this before, but I'm guessing by the flavors, it's supposed to taste like a tzatziki sauce. So we're gonna try this, and I think it's gonna be super yummy.